Teaching and learning during the pandemic. MUSE 7222 Research Application in Applied Music, presented by David R. Armstrong. Outline. Introduction. Abstract. What is the research about? Literature review. Discussion of literature. Method. Method of research used. Results. What was the outcome of the research? Conclusion. The culmination. Introduction. Abstract. Schools play a large part in the child rearing. Students and teachers spend most of their lives within the walls of the school. Music educators give students space to grow while imparting in them the wisdom and knowledge for life. With each performance, opportunity, and practice engagement, students share in the socialization of those groups. All teachers share in the successes and downfalls of the student. Students trust their teachers, counselors, and administration with things that they would never tell their parents. They were not able to learn and grow from their peers. The fear and stress of this pandemic caused an immediate regrouping. Everything that seemed normal changed. What were we to do? Literature review. I focused on just three components of the literature review from the summer. And I had to add on in a few other ones just to refresh it for the final paper. But I'm speaking about mental health. Mental health contributes to the growth of the student. Mental health is essential to educators as well as parents. Each student had to thrive in an environment conducive to learning. Wu found that parents who usually can withstand natural disasters were not well during COVID-19, during the COVID-19 pandemic. Many parents developed excessive stress and severe depressions. Parents had to carry the weight of their anxiety while caring for their children. Teacher perspective. The pandemic pressured educators to maximize their skills within the constructs of instruction delivery. Biasuti et al. Carried out a study that shows educators enlisting the help of technology to deliver instruction. Teachers discussed their time management, curriculum planning, content meetings, parent meetings, examinations, and flexibility. Educators mentioned that planning for a completely online lesson was time consuming. And at this point, currently, we've always used technology and we're still using technology because one thing that the pandemic did do was increase the use of technology. At the beginning of the pandemic, there was such a great need for delivery of instruction and not how we were going to um how we were going to make sure that the students did not fall behind, being that we had to be at home. Technology. One aspect that became a necessity was teaching with technology. Chiavio et al. 2021 discusses the pedagogical needs of educators during the pandemic. Students were tested to show how they would adapt to private lessons using technology. And one thing that we use is what I'm recording this video on is Microsoft Teams. And it was great, but for music, it had a lot of delays. But now there is so much more technology that has been developed, which will be shown within my final research paper. And here are some of the um, sources that I will use for the final research. The method of research. The method of research will analyze major articles, interviews, and opinions of music educators during the COVID-19 pandemic. And not only music educators, but educators alike, because what I have understood is that we have all experienced some sort of crunch and stretching during this time. Even though we're back in school, there's still a stretching and a crunching during this time. And so we have to realize that um, we are consistently shifting and moving. And you will see that within the data that is presented um, within the final paper. Numerous educators will be asked to give their account on specific experiences during the pandemic. Data will be compiled from the interviews and surveys from a vast array of educators from different cultures and students. Um, these educators will be chosen specifically for their school district, economic status of their city, race, and ethnicity. The research will be categorized as the success of choral and instrumental music programs during the pandemic, the effects of the pandemic on grading, student interest, mental health, technology, in person versus virtual learning, social interaction, recruitment and retainment before and during before, during, and after the pandemic. My research findings. Research findings at this time are inconclusive. But as I am concluding my research, I'm noticing a difference from the beginning of the pandemic versus being presently in the pandemic. I was looking at my current students because I'm in kind of like a pickle with working with in my present school district, um, trying to make sure that I didn't get into any trouble, doing research, any research, for whatever reason they say that you will not be able to do it. Well, as I was doing it, as a class project or just class, just filling out a survey, um, I paid attention to the fact that they were kind of excited or about being at home and kind of felt good about being at home. Some were not, some missed their friends. So it was just kind of, now that they are back in school, they're excited. So it's kind of back and forth with them. And a wise person told me I should have chosen another topic because we were going back into school. And I'm going to listen to that wise person the next time. But we are still considerably within the pandemic, because it's ever changing. So we have to continue on. We're wearing the mask. Students are wearing the mask. So yeah. Okay. So the conclusion: the pandemic has presented tough challenges for educators in every capacity of teaching and learning. We are still maneuvering through it, and together we will conquer it. And from a personal standpoint, um, it's a daily shift and change, brand new thing every day. As it pertains to the pandemic, you never know when they're going to say, we got to go virtual. You never know when they're going to say we are we've stopped, or we have scares, or it's just a lot that is going on. So I thank you guys for watching the video. And if you have any questions or concerns or comments, I'll see you guys in the discussion board. Have a great one.